Okay everyone, just before we get on to today's video with Stevie, wee bit of a technical issue. You probably won't even notice, but I thought I'd stick this wee bit in just in case some of you do and you're wondering what's happened. Basically, the camera that I'm actually recording on right now, the file from earlier recording became corrupted, unable to use it, so basically I had to use my webcam that was luckily recording as well, otherwise we wouldn't have had a video at all. It does mean you'll see me doing a lot of that. I'm not being rude and looking above you. It's because I'm looking at the camera, but it's not recording from the camera, it's recording from the webcam. Fascinating stuff. Enjoy the video. Alright everyone, it's Friday. Friday's video. Stevie is back on, everyone, and we may look ahead to the game against Falkirk on Sunday, but no guarantees, because I hope you don't mind if we maybe talk a lot about Wednesday night again. I'm sure you won't have any issues with that. We note that this video is also going out audio only on the GigPod feed, so hello GigPod listeners. Don't know why I'm waving because they can't see me. Oh dear. Stevie, how are you, mate?
Apart from that faux pas, yeah, I'm pretty good. Thanks a lot for agreeing to put it on the GigPod feed on Spotify and iTunes.
Listen, I've not done it yet.
Right, well,
let's see how this goes today.
I know. I'll do something stupid, won't I? We'll follow it with each other. No, things are really good, really positive and happy still. That's over 24 hours since that doing we dished out. A real good old-fashioned European drubbing. And it was amazing it wasn't done to us for a change, you know. So,
yeah.
Hamish, I will drink to that. Don't worry about that.
The big news today, Stevie, is that we're still the second best team in European football, just sandwiched nicely between Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen. I think I noticed, Stevie, if you look at the league table as well, Stevie, the bottom six, we've still got to play 3 of them and 2 of them at home, which I think is a great opportunity for the team.
You know what, you're not going to believe this, right? Because obviously you'd expect this sort of thing for John or one of your guests that you get on. But I actually did have a look at that and I thought to myself, yeah, Dinamo Zagreb, obviously Slovan Young Boys Club Brugge occupy the sort of the bottom 6 teams there. And obviously, you know, that can change. Club Brugge can leapfrog someone else, and you know, Zagreb could get a result as well, and we might not fare so well in Dortmund, but you know what? That is the magic of this tournament this year. There's a real unpredictability to it. It doesn't seem as if there's as many gimmies. And you look tonight, I mean, I thought, you know, you flip that around a wee bit, Hamish. Being a saddle, we know life, I actually watched both our big dog opponents, RB Leipzig and Atalanta tonight. Leipzig were very unlucky to get beat against Atletico Madrid. Went down in the 90th minute. Goal with Madrid, basically, last kick of the ball. I thought Atalanta were outstanding against Arsenal. They did everything but score. They played really, really well.
Should they have won
Arsenal,
that game?
Yeah, they did. They missed a penalty and arguably should have scored the rebound. And David Raya is getting topped up now. Is this like miraculous double save? You're looking for your. If that's us missing that though, we'd be fuming.
We don't miss penalties anymore.
Nah, that's way past us. We've got Arnie Engels, but don't worry about that. But, no, honestly, there's a real excitement just been in the competition, and as you said at the start, just great to be like up there. Who knows how long it will last? So it's even more like important to celebrate that now, because how often have we actually been there?
That's what I mean. And like, listen, we get like loads of comments on yesterday's video, and thanks for the kind words, and great to see Enda on the channel, etc. But we got loads of really kind of positive comments, but there were a few in there, and again, they're just people's opinion, but people looking to kind of play down the result, or the opposition were terrible, like we can't say anything until we've played a good team. See, being a football fan, I don't understand how you can watch that performance on Wednesday night, being a football fan, and not just feel totally blown away. And I know there's always a tendency these days to say, oh, don't get carried away and all that kind of stuff. See, as fans, like, are we not allowed to get a wee bit carried away when you watch a performance like that?
Aye.
It wasn't the fact for me that we beat Slovan Bratislava. It was the fact that we utterly demolished them and the way we played in the game. See, at half time, I said this yesterday to Enda. See, at half time, this is me getting greedy. Brendan Rodgers would have loved me because he was giving it the greedy patter after the game, but he must love you as well, actually. But at half time, I wasn't just wanting to win that game. I wanted to go out and to win it by like genuinely about 3 or 4 goals because I felt the game was there to do that. And the thing I loved about the team, how many times have we seen Celtic teams in the past against that calibre of opposition go ahead in the game and then like be pegged back or lose like away to Copenhagen or someone like that, but they went and just battered them and they treated Bratislava like a Scottish team.
Yeah, defo. I was saying that, like, how often have Celtic underestimated opponents that, we are favourites in Ferencváros. We've seen it. Cluj, take you back to the infamous Wi-Fi password game of early 2022 as well. Their teams, like, on paper, Celtic should be beating them, and we've let ourselves down and also underestimated our opponents. I think we gave Slovan Bratislava total respect last night by the performance that we put in because we were so assured, we were so controlled. What I liked about it, Hamish, was at half time I met our mate Lewis down at the kiosks bit, and I didn't even think there was anything to worry about. Like I didn't feel concerned. I was annoyed with the misses for Furuhashi, obviously, the two. I think one was a really good save for the goalkeeper. The one that he skied over the bar. But me and Lewis both said to each other, we'll get more chances, and that's what you felt. You didn't feel as if, this is got Celtic in Europe all over it, a classic, There's something different about this team now. The way I feel about Celtic just now is the way I felt. Remember when we battered Rangers 4-0, getting into that Real Madrid game, we just beat Dundee United 9-0. We put out like a second string team against Ross County. We battered them. I'm starting to feel that way with a Celtic team now, like total control and total confidence in whatever team we put out. And it just feels like, all right, okay, that Real Madrid game, we know what happened. But the fact is, we went into that game thinking we could get something here.
Yeah,
there was a real confidence and belief. Didn't have it last time. Didn't have it last season, especially in the Champions League. I thought, this is like all over after the final game. So what's really important is that result last night. The performance is big, but the result, it gives us something to build on. And you can go into that Dortmund game now with a bit of hope. Like the fans going over there have every right to feel, let's just go for it and let's see what can happen. So everything's looking all really good now. And I've got no doubt that as long as everyone's all pulling together and the players and management are doing their job, they'll keep the fans happy and the fans will continue to back them. And when everything all comes together like that, look what we saw last night. It was just a total joy to be in that stadium.
We're going to be going to Dortmund second in the table. Like that, you should have confidence. We should have confidence going into that game. It's very obviously a hell of a step up for us. One thing, we're away from Celtic Park, where we've tended to. Even last season, our best results came and performances came at Celtic Park, so that's a big step for the team. But I think we'll go to Dortmund, and I think that will be a proper game. This could age horrendously, but I don't think we'll go out there and it will be like a doing like we've seen in the past from Celtic in these games. I think we'll go out and we'll probably score at least once in that game. I think they'll score as well. And listen, there's a fair chance we lose that game. There's a fair chance we lose to Atalanta after that. I think the important thing was that we won our opening game. We got the 3 points banked because worst case scenario, if we lose our next two matches, which as I say, can happen. We're playing the runners-up from last season's Champions League and the Europa League winners. We go into that fourth game against Leipzig still feeling good about ourselves, hopefully, with 3 points and knowing that if we manage to win that Leipzig game, again, tough ask, but you're looking incredibly good. Even a draw in that Leipzig game, 4 points, I said, from the first 4 games was kind of all right, and then you take it into maybe some slightly more winnable games, but I'm feeling good about it. A point I wanted to make, you compared it to Ange's second season, and the buzz we felt at that stage. And I think I've been saying that since the start of the season, since the pre-season actually, that I felt there were similarities in the way the team just have the kind of bit between their teeth. They almost feel like liberated from last season and it being so close. Remember how nervy Ange's first season domestically was, It was amazing, but such a battle to win the league. Last season was different but similar. It was a real battle to win the league, but we got that feeling at the end. A very, very similar seasons. Even we won the league midweek away from home, Kilmarnock last season, Tannadice and Ange's season. And then the second season under Ange, it just felt as if we went to another level. And not the pressure was off, but as I say, the team felt liberated. And I think we're going to see that again this season. We've started this season domestically very similarly to that second season under Ange, battering Rangers, etc., scoring loads of goals, not conceding many goals. So the point I'm making is that in Ange's tenure, it felt as if we were on a journey the whole way through. Basically, from the minute he came in, we were on a journey to get better and better and better. Under Rodgers, it's this team being this good is, for me, kind of come out of nowhere. You go back to the start of this year, imagine in January or February when you saw how much we were struggling, you would say, oh, by the way, in 6 months' time, you're going to be beating a team 5-1 in the UEFA Champions League. You wouldn't have believed it. It's been a much more surprising rise for me. But I think this team right now, I don't know if it's a ridiculous thing to say. I think they might be even better than that Ange team in his second season. I feel like we have more pace in the team, more power in the team, and I think more potential as well. I think the scope for this team is massive.
I don't know. I think let's see where we are at the end of the season. I find it really difficult to compare them because I don't want to get dragged into recency bias, but I do recall going to Celtic Park in that second season under Ange, and I couldn't wait. I mean, I couldn't wait to get to see us at home to Ross County, at home to Dundee.
You can't wait now.
I can't. I mean, I will.
You're even going on Sunday.
I know. I've got something up with me. I'm so heated. No, I will be there no matter what. I will be there. Looking forward to it. But yeah, you're just getting a real buzz going to see Celtic now, and that's how I definitely felt under Ange. That second season, the form that Rio Hatate was in, spectacular. We were getting to, remember the period of play like we saw with Adam Moy. He was just unbelievable. And I'm going to come on to Celtic midfielders from the current squad now. But yeah, it's a real tough one. I would probably hold fire if you asked me that at the end of the season. It's a Celtic side have won a treble and they've really made a dent in Europe. Then I'd be prepared to say I think this Celtic team very well could be better than that Ange second season team. But the midfield last night. One of the things in that Ange second season, especially in Europe, is that as unlucky as they were. Remember the game against Shakhtar, both of them against Leipzig, they had their moments, but there wasn't periods of the game you could really say that we were in full control. There was like a chaotic energy to that Ange team. This Brendan side looks really, really controlled and assured, and I just feel one of the big reasons for that is the purchase of Engels. Hamish, the guy is the real deal. He is, as I say, only 3 games in. And this is one of the ones where you're making a comment on this, and who knows what could happen down the line. Spectacularly out of form, bad injury, anything could. So I guess this is going to be one of these calls to make here. But I'm going to go out and say it. I honestly think that we look back on this in a couple of seasons, he could end up being one of our best modern day midfielders. I think he's got it all now. I really do. I think he is a total joy to watch. Pinching myself at the boys only just early 20s. Yeah, strolling about like last night against, bear in mind, right, Slovan Bratislava, their average age, I think, was something like 33, 34, perhaps. So he's up against real experience. That's his first proper Champions League game, and he just made it look so easy. The ball that he put in was such an amazing set piece that the corner that he put in for the first goal from Liam Scales, it was like a ball Petrov would have put in. Just whipped so hard that it near post. It reminded me a lot.
They're low as well. Sorry, mate, on you. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say the ball that he put in was like Sutton against Blackburn. See if you watch that ball at Ewood Park.
Okay.
Petrov had this real habit in a lot of Larsson, Sutton and Hartson goals, but Sutton and Larsson especially, running to that near post and just getting anything on it. See when the ball is whipped across at that pace and at that height, get anything on it, and the keeper's very likely never going to get near it. It was just it was so mad because I saw him put in the first cross for the corner and it was headed away, but I knew that he wasn't going to change it and it was going to go near post again. And Scales obviously attacked it. Anything in it and it's in. And again, that's all down to you can say Liam Scales, but also Arnie Engels just for the fact that he's been working on that, no doubt. And there's a reason that he's been taking all the set pieces. I think he's going to go really far with Celtic, Hamish. I guess watching it on TV like yourself as well, you must have like seen right away in those first 10-15 minutes what a player we've got here.
Yeah, I love the fact, just going back to his corner taking, I love like the height he puts them in, like they're low, and I think that's really difficult for defenders to defend, really awkward. The thing I love about him is he's starting his second game, his first ever game in the Champions League. He's already taken our corners, he's taken our free kicks, he's taken our penalties. Like, it's a hell of a responsibility for such a young guy, but also such a guy that's, you know, so recently was so recently signed. A point I wanted to make, I kind of rewatched the game yesterday, and you'll remember it, but early on in the game, it was on we got a corner. We got a number of corners yesterday early on in the game, but we got a corner on the right hand side, and he tried to go short with it, and it was he and Nicholas Kuhn, and they kind of mucked it up a little bit, and I think the ball ended up coming off Kuhn and going for a Bratislava throw, and there was a few groans, and it was like, right, put the ball in the box. We get another corner literally 2 or 3 minutes later, and I was looking at him thinking, right, are you going to stick this in the box this time? You know, you've tried something, it didn't work. You're a young guy playing in your Champions League debut. You probably do just take the safe option and put it into the box. No, he tries and takes it short again. He finds Greg Taylor on his own inside the box. Taylor crosses it, puts a great ball in, and Maeda should score with a header, heads it right to the keeper. And I just thought, like, see that that confidence at that level is just so important, because that's what we need. I feel like so often Celtic would show that kind of confidence domestically because we know we're so much better than the teams we play. That's the kind of thing we'd try and wouldn't even think about it domestically, but it's felt to me like when we've gone into Europe, we've almost like thought we need to play it safer. We can't take those risks. Whereas I felt the other night, maybe because the team are so confident, or the fact we were playing Slovan Bratislava and we thought and knew we were better than them, but we were taking those risks. I want to keep seeing us doing things like that as we go forward, even when we play the better teams. That's the fascinating thing for me going ahead to these next 3 games that are hard games. Are we going to play that same football, take that same risk, have that same control and calmness in the game? Because it's going to be so much more of a challenge against Dortmund, Atalanta and Leipzig. But I honestly back Celtic to go and have a go at these teams, but to do it in a controlled way.
Yeah, I feel Brendan Rodgers will probably be more tactically flexible than the likes of Postecoglou. So, you know, under Ange, we were getting into games and no matter where we were playing, it was just going to go all out attack. Plan B didn't really seem to exist. I think Brendan Rodgers will be more cautious in the away games. I don't think we'll go all out against Dortmund, but I think we will look to contain, and I think we'll have a plan to hit them and use the width of the likes of Maeda and Nicholas Kuhn. I think they will be vital against Dortmund. Maeda especially. You might want to come on to him later. He's ridiculous, but he will be so key against Borussia Dortmund. So I feel that Brendan Rodgers, you know, as I say, tactically, will tweak it a little. I don't think we're going to see a performance as last night. I think what we will see against Dortmund is harder work off the ball. I think at times we were happy last night. I think we suffocated Slovan Bratislava because we had the ball and just left them running after it. You saw it in about 60, 65 minutes. They looked done.
Earlier than that, by the way.
Probably right. It just one of the ones of the game you could see like.
I thought in the end of the first half they looked knackered. Genuinely, like I thought they looked knackered.
Superstar Vladimir Weiss, you know what I mean, the captain, just getting ready to go off the park. Legend, of course, but I think it's going to be really important to see our discipline and see what our shape's like when we're in Dortmund, and we're not going to have as much of the ball. But I think this team, despite the fact that we might not have a lot of the ball over there, I think when we do have it, we'll make far better decisions than what we did like a couple of, even last season. I think we'll be deadly when we've got the ball this time, and we'll make our opportunities count. Because the amount of chances we're creating, especially for the wide areas, is it's really impressive at the moment. And it's the one thing I've noted for last season that, you know, whenever Maeda and Kuhn seem to be running at players, and if you even get Taylor and Johnston overlapping, we look at real force now. So I think, yeah, I think we will be tweaking it a little bit there. Don't think we will see like an all-out performance that obviously we did last night. But again, that's not a bad thing. And I'll if that stops us getting battered in Europe and getting a point on the road, I am all for it.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up the stats from yesterday again, because it was something I noticed. The distance covered I thought was interesting. I don't know if that's something people have necessarily been talking about. We covered 10k more than Bratislava yesterday. People are talking about the brilliant things we did on the ball, but our intent to win the ball back. I don't know if you saw the Joe Hart stuff from the kind of BBC highlights show, but he picked out. He did a whole feature. It was brilliant to see, by the way, side note, because it was like match of the day, when they like pick out the certain things, and we don't get that coverage in Scottish football at all. It just isn't available. But see, actually, them picking out, I don't know, 5 or 6 examples of players winning the ball back. There was one for Diaz and Maeda at the start of the second half. It's like just ridiculous. Like he runs about 40 yards to chase the Bratislava player down, wins the ball back, and we go in the attack. Maeda's just amazing. I honestly, I love the guy, and I know, and I don't love the fact he misses chances. And see like Maeda's goal on Wednesday night, it was the most Maeda goal ever. Like, he would never slot that in without the keeper getting a touch. You know what I mean? He would never just curl that past the keeper. Of course it would go in with the keeper getting a touch. It just sums Maeda up perfectly.
He's honestly a real asset to this team. One of the most important players, and I thought his performance on Wednesday night was exemplary. I really did. I think they're right back, to be fair. Don't think he was a dud.
I thought he was good.
Thought he was
Cesar Blackman. I thought he was. He was good.
Maeda just made him look like an idiot. And I don't think he was a bad player, but Maeda really tore him to shreds. And I hopefully, as I say, I think he's going to be so vital to us in Germany. But yeah, I actually did see that Joe Hart thing, because as you can imagine, when I get home, you know what it's like after the Champions League. Like, your head's buzzing.
Yeah.
The walk home and everything, and the first thing I wanted to do was watch the goals. Did that, watched the analysis on the TNT, and then I watched the stuff with Joe Hart. Somebody put it on YouTube, and I was just like, it was about half 12 or something at night, Hamish, and I was watching that. Joe Hart talking the club up. It was just brilliant to see, because of course we wouldn't be getting talked up off any Scottish papers or on Sports Scene or something. Yeah. So I thank you to him in Match of the Day for fighting that corner. But I also wanted to give another shout out. I mean, you made a good point. You know how you said at the start of the year, 6 months later, if a Celtic team beat a team in Europe 5-1, you'd be pinching yourself. If you said to me at any point from February to like April or May last season, Liam Scales would be one of our best players in the Champions League, I'd be like, what? Because I thought he was magnificent last night, and I really have to give a shout out, because I don't want to seem like a boo boy that won't give him credit, and I'm always on his back, but you've got to say, I mean, the job Brendan's done with him has been spectacular this season, Hamish.
Yeah, he was excellent. He really was good. Alistair Johnson was fabulous as well. Right, God, I didn't even have any notes down there, Stephen. We somehow managed to talk for 20 minutes about Wednesday night, and we'll talk a wee bit more, because I've got some comments as well from you legends. Averted vision. As soon as Engels starts scoring from open play, then we have an absolute baller. He is constantly moving, never stands still, and he has some engine to get back and win the ball and drive us forward. His shooting as well, like, he absolutely leathers the ball. That one, he had 2 last night, and if anything, they were too accurate, because they were right to the keeper. But he's going to. It's not a mega prediction, but he is going to score an absolute screamer this season.
Yeah, again, sorry to compare with the whole Petrov comparisons and everything, right? But the money we've got in Benjamin, I think we paid something like 6 million or maybe 5 million for Petrov. I think we paid a fairly high fee to CSK Sofia anyway, like for 1999. And I mean, he was a great striker, did the ball too, but he took such a long time to settle into Celtic after that first season, and the way that Engels, who just came in and sort of made that position his own. It's like you've got to forget. I mean, sorry, a lot of people obviously won't forget Matt O'Reilly when he left. What a big dog he was for us. And it's almost that this. I'm not wanting to do him down on anything, but we do have to move on. Matt O'Reilly will move on, and so does Celtic. But it's almost been such. People are forgetting it's such a seamless transition. O'Reilly out, and everybody was fretting, going, "We're going to miss this guy with the goals and assists." Engels comes in, and I think he will add goals and assists to his game. He's got them already, so he is. I'm going to agree with your man there, and I don't like using this part.
Your man, because he's forgotten your username. Terrible. Averted vision.
Well, you've not got it up the screen. You've not got it up the screen. Come on, it's not fair. But anyway, look, he is a baller.
Yeah, I mean that's how the recruitment should work, though. Like I know that in an ideal world, you lose a player like O'Reilly and you spend a third of the money and bring in a guy who, ideally comes in and makes you not miss the player, your record sale, as much as you thought you would. That's how it worked with Alistair Johnson, who came in for Juranovic. So that's what the club could and should be doing, and they've done it well here. So yeah, great stuff. Engels is fabulous. Right, Aidan O'Brien. Always enjoy Aidan's questions. What does this season's team need to achieve to be considered the best team since the O'Neill-Strachan era? I think if we... Oh, that's me. Sorry, that's my thoughts. That was his question. My thoughts are, I think if we make the top 24 while playing the kind of football we played on Wednesday night, I think you can call this the best Celtic team since the Strachan days. Because we made the knockouts once before under Neil Lennon, and I know we beat Barca, etc. But I think if we did it playing with that style of football, personally, I think you could call it the best Celtic team of the past nearly 20 years, 15 years.
Obviously, while looking to aim with the domestic treble as well. I'm just saying that casually as if that's like an easy thing to do. But no, this squad and this manager in the past have made it look easy, certainly. But yeah, I think for them to be compared to the O'Neill teams, the scouts they took in Europe, we've got to be doing the same. We've got to be beating a couple of big teams, and certainly getting to the knockouts would be unbelievable. It would be some achievement. So yeah, I would agree with that. I think European progress has to be like the. It's so critical if we're going to be making the comparisons to the glory years under O'Neill.
Do you think this Brendan Rodgers team is already better than any of his teams from his first spell, or is that again a bit presumptuous?
No, I do. I don't want to bore the channel audience, so I'm not going to do that. But you knew me during those times, and I always used to feel that I just get frustrated with some of the play in Brendan Rodgers and his teams, especially the big thing for me was in Europe. They were a massive letdown, punch bags, if you will, other than a couple of decent performances in that first season.
Anderlecht.
But I think even at that, like the PSG and Barca games, there was no good as they were losing in the manner we did was totally shameful. But I'm hoping that Brendan's learned from all that. So yeah, I would say this team now are certainly way more enjoyable already than any of the previous era teams. But that's just my opinion. That's all. Just stating that fact.
I think probably an underrated part of this is that Brendan Rodgers is a better manager now than he was in his first spell, and I think it's sometimes difficult to think of that because Rodgers did so well in his first spell and was practically unbeatable domestically. But I think he's come on as a manager. I think in these European games you'll see a different team, more of a measured approach. But I think really, I think he's really got that pace and power in his team now as well that he craves. You look at that team that we fielded on Wednesday, and especially the pace. The pace is just everywhere. Right, James Milani. Hate when we win games and comments are full of weren't that good. They were good and showed it in spells. We've slipped up against worse in the past. Need to make teams look poor, and that's what happened. Pressing and concentration, bits of quality when needed from Hatate and Kuhn. One of the best movement strikers in the Champions League in Kyogo. James, I agree. Stevie?
Spot on. Yeah, it's about time we gave it. Listen, see if there was anything that annoyed me last night. You'll be the first to hear about it. You know what I'm like. Got to give Celtic credit. got to give the manager and the players credit. Last night was just a real good, feel-good night at the stadium. And if you're coming away for that looking for negatives or looking to nitpick, then I feel sorry for you. And that's a bad day when I'm sort of feeling sorry for Sunday, isn't it?
What is going on? Right, Richie Sharp, nice lads. We were very good all over the pitch, a bit scrappy at times, overplaying, but a win at least was expected with the quality of Bratislava. And Vice enjoyed that game, I'm sure. No illusion though, some pretty tough games ahead. As long as we compete, I'm happy, and it was good to see Ida score a classy goal. We go forward. 7 games to go. Stevie, how good is it just knowing we've won that game and now have 7 more big European games to come? It's going to be fabulous.
It's amazing because look, we haven't since 2000 and in fact ever we've never won the opening game. You know what I mean? So always after the first game, we were always playing catch up, and you were always putting yourself under more pressure. Okay, I get it. It's a different format, and there's more games, and it's more sort of one-off games, but it doesn't matter. It's an exciting time, and it's good to get that win at last, and it's something to build on. It's the most important thing. We're going to, as I say, the Dortmund game with more hope. People will be actually going there positive, and it's not just a case of you're going there it's putting pressure on, looking to actually get a result. It would be nice, but see if we don't get a result in Dortmund, it's not the end of the world. We've got those 3 points, and we can still look to build on it. It's as long as the performance is something that's encouraging as well.
Do you know that we hadn't even scored in a Champions League opener since
Jan
Old Trafford? Yeah, Nakamura. Maeda, because I was thinking that can't be the case, and then I went through all the games, and it's like Barcelona and PSG and Villarreal and all of these Aalborg and teams like that. It's a mad record.
I quite laughed. Do you know I missed that goal, the Jan Vennegoor one.
Did you?
At Old Trafford. Do you know why I missed it?
What do you mean missed it?
As in, I was at Old Trafford that game, and
oh right, okay.
I missed
Went for a pie.
Aye.
Get all you deserve. What a goal that was. And Nakamura's free kick, obviously, as well. Very underrated in comparison to his other one. Right, okay. Falkirk on Sunday, I did say we'd briefly talk about it, Stevie. Changes for the game. Is worth saying Luke McCowan's cup tied for this because he played in Dundee's win over Airdrie in the previous round. This is my team, so I'm going Schmeichel, Ralston, Trusty, Scales, Valle, McGregor, Bernardo, Engels, Forrest, Ida, Maeda. I feel like it's some changes in there. We're getting to see Trusty, Valle start, but also I'm wary of changing it too much. Maybe Sinizalo could start as well. I would be wary of making 10, 11 changes because we don't want to go out of the cup, and Falkirk are, I think, probably Premiership level at the moment. I mean, the way they're playing is probably on a par with some Premiership teams in the lower half or whatever. So I'd make some changes. Some players deserve, like Ida, Bernardo, deserve to come in, James Forrest, but not too many.
I didn't realise Falkirk have got a 100% record as well. Quite surprised with that. Surprised with that one.
Kasper Schmeichel Derby, of course.
No, I don't want to see Schmeichel playing on Sunday. I want to see Sinizalo. I think Sinizalo should be getting the cup game, or certainly getting this cup game. I feel I'd like to see Valle in there as well. Ralston too. Certainly James Forrest should be starting. Bernardo coming in, and Ida has to start as well. So I'd like that, and obviously Trusty too. So yeah, generally I'm in favour of maybe 5 or 6 changes. Not the whole team. I think he'll still play Callum McGregor. You know that. I think Dyson Maeda will start as well. So aye, pretty much in agreement with that. But I'd like to see Vi and Trusty start as well as Sinizalo.
Any issues for Sunday? I mean, it's hard to see any the way we're playing at the moment.
It's the way I'm getting into these games. I've got that. It's not an arrogance or dismissal of the other team, but it's just the confidence that I feel with Celtic. And until we do have a horror result, poor performance, or drop points, then I won't be seeing any issues now. No, no matter who we are playing now. Ask me that at the eve of the Dortmund game or something, and I'll give you a proper answer. But just right now, domestically, no concerns. Whatever team we put out, I just feel the team are so well drilled. They know their role. The manager's got them totally buying into everything they do. He's improving players, and the players just look so hungry. They look absolutely desperate for more success, and everybody else all pulling together. The fans are loving seeing it too, and I wouldn't even be shocked if I don't think it'll be a complete sellout, but I think it will be like maybe another 45, 50,000 this Sunday, because people are just dying to get back to Celtic Park and see this team.
Yeah, I think it will be actually a pretty good crowd, and I wouldn't have said that a few days ago. Right, no video tomorrow, everyone. I'm away out the city on a trip for a couple of days. Back in time for Sunday's reaction, though. Steve, are you going to join me for that, I believe?
Nah, I'll go to the pub. No, don't worry, I'll be there. I will be. I would never miss it for the world, Hamish.
Fabulous. Right, okay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Stevie, for chatting. Nearly at 10,000 subscribers. Stevie, they should definitely subscribe, shouldn't they? I think we're like 70 away at this stage, so...
Of course they should. Aye, they get it for free. They get it for free,
Yeah.
Hamish, and you put in the shift every single day. And you have to put up with me coming on here, just swagging along, turning up, and nearly ruining the videos every week. So, aye. They should, for you and for what you've got to put up with, they should definitely be subscribing and getting you to thank you.
Yeah, let's get to 10,000 subscribers. If you've not already subscribed, you can help us get there. Big milestone for the channel, and we'll push forward from there, just like Celtic. Okay, everyone, enjoy your weekend. I'll chat to you after the game on Sunday.